Welcome back, guys. Today we're going to talk about watercolor brushes. Are you overwhelmed in the sea of information out there? All the choices? A little overwhelming, right? Well, today we're going to go through everything you need to know about watercolor brushes. We're doing a brushology today, folks. So, this is the handle. I'm going through the anatomy of a brush now. The ferrule, the crimp, the heel of the brush. This part of the bristles is called the belly of the brush, and the toe. Heel, toe, I'd rather call it a tip because it's the tip of the brush. Okay, I have a few different examples to show you guys. This is called a hacky brush, and this is natural fibers, and it holds a lot of paint, a lot of water. It's great for big areas. It's a great wash brush. Then you have flat brushes. Okay, this one's the squared off one. This one has a slant. These also cover a good amount of areas. Then another brush that you're going to use all the time is going to be your round brush. It's the most versatile brush. It has a nice fine point, so you could even do a little bit of detail work. But this is going to be your go-to brush, is a round brush. And it comes in many sizes from quadruple zero, which is extremely small. I think I have a double zero, and I'll show you what that looks like. Super, super small. So a detail brush is great if you are going to be doing very detailed work. Okay, this is an oval brush. It is going to be good for doing botanicals, petals and such. As well as a dagger brush. This is a great one for leaves. This is a fan brush, and this one's kind of interesting because they have some of the bristles taller than the rest of it. I bought this brush thinking that I would really like it for landscapes, but I found that it just does a pattern that's too predictable and it didn't look organic enough to me, so I hardly use it. Mop brushes are going to have a big belly, and they're going to hold a lot of water, and they can cover a large area. This is called a rigger brush. It has a very, very fine point, and it is great for doing hairs on animals and landscapes. It's also known as a script liner, and there was a demand in the market for a very, very fine brush that could do the riggings on a boat for people that were painting seascapes. So that's how the name rigger came into effect. So the sizes for brushes, they'll be anywhere from a quadruple zero up to a size 10. They go in increments of 1. And then from 10 to 24, they go in increments of 2. Okay, folks, so animal versus synthetic. So the big difference with the animal hair is that it soaks up a lot of water, a lot of paint, and you'll be able to lay down a larger area than with a synthetic brush. Start off with the squirrel hair one here. Just going to make a puddle of color. Okay, so I have this as saturated as I can get it. Start up here. So it holds a lot of paint. So much that I can make another line almost and keep going with what's on it. Okay. Even get a little bit more out of it. The synthetic brush. Again, dipping it in there, getting as much paint as I can, saturating it as much as I can. So you see, I haven't even done a second line yet, and I'm running out of paint. The downside to an animal hair brush is that it has very little snap. And by snap, I mean when it's wet, the way that the bristles bounce back. This is a synthetic brush, and this Princeton brand and the series is called Snap, so this actually has a very good snap. Versus this animal hair, this is squirrel hair, and when it's wet, the brush will just stay bent over. So you have less control with the animal hair versus synthetic brushes. So as a beginner, I would suggest that you probably start with synthetic brushes. See how it stays bent over? Okay, that's like zero snap. And then these synthetic brushes have a great snap. See, it goes right back. The one brush that I love the most is a combination of synthetic and animal hair. Holds a really nice point, holds a lot of water, so it paints for a really, really long time without having to dip back into things. But it doesn't have like a super duper snap. It's still quite controllable. The most expensive animal hair brushes will be sable brushes, and the Kolinsky sable is the creme de la creme, if you will, of animal hair brushes. And the reason for that is that the Kolinsky fibers do snap back pretty well compared to other animal hair fibers. Okay, now I want to talk about taking care of your brushes. After you use your brush, you should always clean it. So there are products out there for cleaning your brushes. This is a soap for brushes that actually have a conditioner in it too, so it keeps your brushes in really good shape. So you would just basically run it along there and keep going until it runs clear. And once you've cleaned your brush, you then want to kind of dry it a little bit and take your fingers and get your point back, okay? And then you're going to either store it flat or store it standing up. Never, ever, never store your brushes like that, because they will have a permanent bend in them from being left in a jar like that. Okay, so you never want to do that. They'll last a really long time, okay, if you treat them right. I kind of give it a little twirl, and there's your point. So in conclusion, guys, I think all you need to start off with is 3 brushes. So you want to get a 3/4 flat. You can either have it flat across the top, or you could get one that is slanted like this. Either or is great for covering large areas. Then you're going to get a size 10 or a size 8 round. It's the most versatile size, and it really is the workhorse of your watercolor painting. Is what you'll use the most. And then a smaller round, a size, this is a 2. Oh no, it's a 0. So a size 0, a size 2 to do tiny little details. So if you really like watercolor and you want to expand your brush collection, then I would add on to your collection the rigger brush, because it does very, very fine details. If you're interested in landscapes or painting animals, it's a great brush to have. So I got these snap brushes off of Amazon, and like I said, they do have a nice snap. I think they're great for beginners. They're good quality, and they weren't that expensive. So I'll put the link in the description below, so check that out. This is a good place to start, guys. Well, that's it, guys. Thanks so much for joining me today. I am excited for next week. We are going to do our very first paintings. It's not just going to be practicing techniques and then you have nothing to show for it. So it's going to actually be a painting, and it's going to be fun, and I can't wait to see you next time. Bye for now.